Hi everyone, welcome back. So from this video onwards, we are going to start building features for our backend application. The first feature that we are going to build is the sign up feature. So if you visit a website for the first time, it asks you to sign up on their website. So without further ado, let's start building this sign up feature. So first thing, let's come to our VS Code, and here we have all the routes. So let me first delete the route and let me create a route for sign up. So app dot the method is post, then the path sign up, and then it takes a callback function. This callback function takes two argument, request and response. Okay, and here inside this callback function we have to write all the logic. But before writing all the logic, let's come to this schema file, and here let's delete this testing model, and let's also change this user schema. So the first thing that we want is id of type string. It is of id, and the default value is cuid. Basically this cuid is a unique identifier. What is the next thing that we want? We want the username. It is of type string and it should be unique. Okay, the second thing that we want is password. It is of type string, and first name, it is of type string, and last name type string, and let's make it optional, so if you don't pass the last name it's okay. And we can also create some more attributes like created at it is of type date time, and the default value is now. Okay, and we can also create another attribute. Let's call it updated at. Okay, so we have our table. Okay, so we have our schema ready. We have id, username, password, first name, last name, created and updated it. So this is our schema, and let me show you a trick. The indentation is not right, so you can use Prisma to make this indentation right. So you have to write this command npx prisma format and press enter. So this command formatted this schema file. Okay, so when you want to format the schema, write this command npx prisma format. The next thing that we have to do is to migrate this table. So before migrating, we have to reset our database. So npx prisma migrate and reset. Okay, it will reset your database, and now let's run the migration. So npx prisma migrate dev hyphen name, and let's call it update user schema, and press enter. It will migrate this. Could not find migration file. Please delete the directory to restore the migration file. So it is giving me an error. It says could not find migration file. At Prisma migration, this update user schema migration. Please delete the directory or restore. So before this video I was running the migration. I think I have the same migration, so I have to delete this file. So let me delete this file and try this again. So let's try this again. npx prisma migrate dev hyphen name update user schema, and let's run it, and I think it okay, so it worked. So let's come to our database and let's see whether we have the table user table or not. So we have this user table, and let's okay, so in this user table we have id, username, last name, created it, first name, password and updated it. So our migration is successful. Now let's come to our index.js file. So here the first thing that we have to do is to get all the data. So const username, what are the other things? Let's go to our schema. Username, password, and first name. So let's get all the data from request dot body. So we'll send this data in the body. So const username, password, first name, we are getting it from the request body. The second thing that we have to do, we have to use this Prisma client to create a user. So to create a user, it's quite simple. You have to do prisma.user.create, and it takes an object. In this object you have to pass this data, and inside this data you can pass all the data. So let's first import the Prisma client. So const Prisma client from Prisma. So equal require Prisma client. So first we have to import the Prisma client. Now we have to create an instance of this Prisma client. So const Prisma is equal new Prisma client, and then we can use this Prisma client to create a user. So let's come to our VS Code again, and here let's create a user, but let's write the code in try catch block. So try catch, here I'm going to write all the code. So const user equal await, since this is an asynchronous task, and let's make this function asynchronous. Await prisma dot user dot create, and here we have to pass a object, here we have to pass data, and here we can send all the data. So username, let me send username, then let's do it this way, username, and password, and the first name is first name. Okay, and after creating a user, let's return a response, return response dot status code, let's do it 201, and then we will send back a JSON. So JSON, and here we have to send the data in a JSON format. So the first thing that we should send is success. Let's make it true. Message, let's make it successfully created a new user, and then data, let's send the user, and error, right now no error, so let's send an empty block over here. Let's return if something goes wrong, let's return status code of 500, and data, let's send it an empty object, and error, let's send it error. Let me remove this error. Okay, so if the user created so if we are able to create the user, we will send this status code of 201. If the user is not created, if something happens, so also let me change this message, something went wrong. Let's write something went wrong. Okay, and I think everything is okay. Also we have to use a middleware to parse JSON data. What is a middleware, Arvind? Don't worry about it yet, I will explain you in our upcoming videos. So here let me write a middleware, app.use express dot JSON. Okay, so this middleware will parse the JSON data, and let's check whether it works or not. So I think there is an error. expected comma. Okay, so here I have to put a comma here, and let's run our application. So npm run dev, and server started at port 3000. So let's come to postman, and here I have to send a post request to this endpoint localhost colon 3000 sign up, and here you have to select this body. In body you have to select the data format in JSON, and you have to pass username, password and first name. So let's send this data, and let's hope that it works. And it says success true, successfully created a user. And let's come to our database and let's see whether we have a user or not. So we have a user of ID this, the username is Arvind A, last name we didn't provide any last name, so it is empty for now. Created at this time, first name is this, password is this, and updated at this. So if you can see here, there is a problem. Anyone can see my password. If someone has the access of the database, he can see my password. So if a hacker hacks this database, he can see my password, he can misuse my account. So this is bad, right? We shouldn't leave the password like this. Okay, so and we shouldn't leave the password like this. So how we can solve this problem? So there is a concept of hashing the password. So we should hash the password before saving to the database. So let's learn how we can hash the password. To hash the password, we can use this library called bcrypt, and it's really simple to use. So first thing that we have to do is to install this library. So let me copy this installation part. Okay, where is the installation? Oh, here it is, npm I bcrypt. So let me come to our VS Code. Let me open a new terminal, and here I have to write this command npm I bcrypt. It will install this bcrypt library, and let's come to this documentation. Here you can see how you can hash a password. So the first thing you have to do is to import this bcrypt, and then you can use this function hash to hash your password. So let's come to our code, and here let's import this, and here instead of saving the real password, let's use this bcrypt library to hash our password. So here await, this hashing is an asynchronous task, so await bcrypt dot hash, and you have to pass your password. So our password is password and salt rounds. So okay, so you have to pass salt rounds. For now let's pass 5. So let's test it out whether it works or not. So let's come to postman. Here let me change this username to Arvind B, and let me keep my password 1234. Let me send this request. So if you can see over here, it hashed my password. So let me come to the database and let me show you. So if you can see over here, this Arvind A user have this 123456 password. So anyone can see this password. But if you see this user Arvind B, this user has this password. So no one can see its password. Okay, so no one can see my password now. So even this database is hacked by a hacker, I don't care, because he won't be able to use this Arvind B user's credentials or password because it is in hashed form. So this is a bad design, this is a good design. So remember this, whenever you save password in the database, please hash the password. Okay, so let me revise what we did. So first we created our user, and while creating our user we hashed the password. Also we changed this schema a bit. We added this username, password, first name, last name, created at, updated at, and we deleted the testing table. So, and if the user is created successfully, we are sending this response. If the user is not created successfully, if something went wrong, so we are sending this response. In the next video, what we are going to do, we are going to build this next feature, that is login feature. So in the next video we are going to build the second feature in our application, that is login. So this is it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.